The day started like any other for Sarah and Mike, two marine biologists exploring the remote waters off the coast of British Columbia. They were on a routine expedition to study the migratory patterns of local marine life when they noticed an unusual disturbance in the water. The sea seemed to pulse with an energy that was different from the usual ebb and flow. Sarah peered through the binoculars and caught sight of something dark and sleek moving rapidly through the water. It was a pod of orcas, their dorsal fins cutting through the surface like daggers. "Mike, look at this," Sarah called, excitement and concern lacing her voice. "We've got a pod of orcas up ahead." Mike joined her at the bow, his eyes widening as he spotted the group of orcas. "This is incredible," he said, adjusting his camera to capture the moment. "They're so close." As the researchers continued to observe, one particular orca broke away from the group. This orca, larger and more aggressive looking than the others, was visibly agitated. Its dorsal fin was tall and straight, a sign of its dominance within the pod. Sarah and Mike had heard about the aggressive behavior of orcas, but they had never seen it firsthand. Before they could react, the orca began to circle the Oceanus. Its movements were calculated and deliberate, creating waves that rocked the small vessel. The orca's presence was intimidating, and the water seemed to thrum with its power. As they attempted to maneuver the boat away, the orca's behavior became more aggressive. It began to tail the vessel, its massive body creating a wake that made steering increasingly difficult. The orca's eyes, cold and intelligent, seemed to follow their every move. The situation escalated rapidly. The orca started to ram the boat, using its head to strike the hull with considerable force. Each impact was jarring, causing the vessel to lurch violently. Sarah and Mike struggled to maintain control, their hands gripping the wheel as they fought to keep the boat steady. "Hold on," Mike shouted, trying to stabilize the vessel. "We need to get out of this area now." Despite their efforts, the orca continued its assault, its powerful blows causing the boat to creak and groan. The researchers could see the water around them turning frothy with the turbulence. The situation was becoming increasingly dangerous, and the risk of a capsized boat was real. Just as the orca prepared for another strike, Sarah had a sudden idea. "Mike, cut the engine. Maybe if we stop moving, it'll lose interest." With no time to lose, Mike turned off the engine. The boat drifted to a halt, and the orca paused, seemingly puzzled by the sudden cessation of movement. The pod of orcas had also stopped, their curious eyes fixed on the Oceanus. For a tense few minutes, the only sounds were the gentle lapping of waves and the occasional call of an orca. The researchers remained motionless, hoping the orca would lose interest and move away. Slowly, the dominant orca began to circle less aggressively, its behavior becoming less hostile. Eventually, the orca turned and rejoined the pod, which began to swim away. The danger had passed, but the experience had left Sarah and Mike shaken. They waited until the orcas were a safe distance away before starting the engine and making their way back to shore. As they docked the boat, both researchers were silent, reflecting on the harrowing encounter. The power and intelligence of the orca were undeniable, and the close brush with danger had given them a newfound respect for these magnificent yet formidable creatures of the sea. Back on solid ground, Sarah and Mike reviewed their footage and noted their observations. The encounter, while terrifying, had provided valuable insights into orca behavior and the potential dangers of interacting with these apex predators in their natural habitat.